I don't really like formalities, man. Like, I don't know, but I'm with it.
You like rough edges?
I'm rocking with it.
I like the rough edges. The rough edges aren't bad. I mean,
good thing
because like the last time they pulled the intro, we did the
intro.
intro like halfway in. They snatched the intro out and put that at the beginning. But right now, it's Welcome to the Endgame podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Rod Brown.
Yeah. I'm Max Maxwell.
Yeah, and I am whoever I say I am.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I am with a whole bunch of. Stuff after the I am. Man. How's everybody's week?
Man, I'm again.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. The workout today.
Ooh, yo, you did
fire?
awesome, man.
Killed me, bro.
Hey, yo,
How
but
many exercises?
I seen something else in you today. I swear I did. You snatching at 60, right? Was it a 60 or 65?
I went from 60 to 55.
Yeah. Nice. But I saw you like snatching it, and it actually takes like power to do that. So I saw you tapping into some other stuff right there. So it was pretty dope.
To, bro.
And you coming back off of like a vacation. Yeah. So to jump back in and just kind of flip a switch, I saw something different in you. I was proud of you. I came over, I stood next to you like while you were snatching one time. And like
looking at students.
Well, I was just like, let me get some of that energy right there. Like it's coming through. Yeah, it was dope.
It was 4 exercises.
Yeah,
6 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 minutes. Finish it.
But all smoke though. It was all gas.
It wasn't
no breaks.
wasn't no ab workout or nothing on the ground. The ab workout was chest, knees to chest, knees to elbows.
Right. So no break really.
No breaks. All gas, no breaks, dog.
I'm still feeling it.
Control the V.
It's all right though.
I miss that.
I'm getting back. I was in Mexico. I had my shirt off. Felt kind of good.
Okay. All right.
Mexico, you
You said November, but like you no pill control
September,
already.
right.
Yeah, you just taking it off. That's good stuff though.
Other than that was everything good.
How much you down now? How much you down now?
40.
40.
Down 40.
That's dope. That's dope.
I got 60 to go.
So if we go back and look at the first podcast, right now, y'all like, why y'all ain't tell me I was looking like that?
Yeah, Oompa Loompa. Y'all got me looking like a Oompa Loompa.
You lucky. You like
Posture
you
was
6
terrible.
what?
6'3".
Yeah, so you hold.
Lucky, yeah.
You just look like a linebacker.
Yeah, but still, that's unhealthy. Yeah, that's unhealthy.
Yo, so let me tell you, the last podcast, I don't even know what order these gonna drop in, but the podcast we dropped was when we was talking about EBITDA and selling your business and the $1.5. That was crazy. Like a lot of people took a lot from that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I just want to say kudos to you guys for sharing that information because that episode was dope. My inboxes was crazy.
Yeah.
People really need that help because I think the whole purpose of the podcast, the end game, is to start with the end in mind when it comes to business, right? Yeah. I think a lot of us start a business to replace our job. Dope.
Facts. Yeah.
That's dope.
That's dope. Super dope.
But you need to think one step further and start the business to sell it.
Yeah.
Because you can do this multiple times.
Over and over
we
and
have
over
so much, bro, we control cool.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Absolutely.
We own it.
That's and I'm not even saying like, I'm not saying like, I mean definitely like the black culture, the African American culture, the black culture in general really like says what's cool kind of type thing. I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Our cool is contagious.
Yeah, it's very contagious across the world. Like when I travel the world, you see people like back in the day when people like, yo, you bumping like I see a little girl from Russia bumping Lil Wayne. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh no, I learned English from MTV or I learned English from BET.
Absolutely.
I love Lil Wayne. I was like, wow, really? Mm-hmm. But you know, just that type of thing. So I have no idea. I just wanted to jump in and talk about like the influence we have is insane. The missing piece to the whole thing is converting that into dollars and ownership.
Yeah.
Like it's really like, if you think about it, we can make a new Nike tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm not exaggerating.
No.
I'm literally saying tomorrow we can make a new Nike and match revenue the first year.
Yeah.
That's how powerful we are, but you got to realize that and you got to come together. I'll give you an example. A guy from your neck of the woods. He's not even a black dude, just an influencer, just crazy mega influence. The whole thing I'm talking about is influence here.
Right.
Mr. Beast, right? Yeah. Mr. Beast did some crazy things over the last couple weeks. Yeah. He launched a physical location. First of all, if you don't know who he is,
yeah, I was getting ready to say.
Mr. Beast is a YouTuber.
Right.
He's like a mega influencer. His videos are crazy. He spends millions of dollars producing every video. Like every money he makes, he puts it back into production.
Right.
He's in Wilmington, North Carolina. Has a compound out there.
Nice.
He needs to get on a podcast just for shits and giggles, bro. You just need to pull up.
Throw that out there.
I'll send the plane to come get you. The thing that I'm saying is his influence and what he's figured out is the monetization piece of his influence, but the ownership piece of his influence. Yeah. So last year during the pandemic, he released Mr. Beast Burgers. Yeah. Right. And here's the crazy thing. Nice. What he did was, if you were a restaurant and you wanted to be a part of the sell Mr. Beast Burgers, you had to take a course online, order the ingredients, and once you pass the course, which is free, you get to now become a Mr. Beast location selling that. So Uber Eats would come pick up the Mr. Beast burger from you that was ordered online, and you would be able to sell Mr. Beast burgers. Nice. They said it wasn't the best burger. Right. Fine. Right. He figured it out. Right. My man physically launched a store in New Jersey. 10,000 people showed up. He sold 5,500 hamburgers in a day, the most ever hamburgers ever sold from a store in one day.
Wow. Yeah.
He says more locations are coming.
Right.
Do you think he can surpass McDonald's in a few years, what took them a long time?
Yeah, absolutely.
McDonald's been around, what, maybe
60s.
I watched the movie.
70, 80 years?
It's been around for a minute.
Right.
I can't remember.
Yeah?
Been around, yes.
Yeah.
Then he launched a chocolate company, right? The chocolate company is called, I know I got it somewhere. The chocolate company is called, I should be prepared, but who cares? I just want to talk about this.
Nah, well, we be going off the top, so
yeah,
you know what I mean, it's all
bar.
good.
This be the top.
Was it chocolate bar or multiple?
It's a chocolate bar.
You know,
he started a chocolate company, right?
Yeah.
And he partnered with Walmart. So his joint instantly dropped in Walmart. He became the #1 chocolate company overnight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hershey's been doing this for 100 years. My man came in a weekend and did it.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Wow. That's bananas.
It's not unbelievable though.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's unbelievable to traditional thinkers. A lot of people can't think outside of the box. But as you can see from his influence, he has built-in distribution.
Right.
So where everybody else is thinking either backwards or can't even think that far, so they have to mostly everybody's selling their distribution because they don't have built-in distribution.
Yeah.
And you're basically telling us that the influencers have built-in distribution and they have what the other companies are missing, which is actual content.
Yeah.
Well,
they also have a built-in customer base.
Exactly.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's the distribution.
I think he has 110 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now that's the hardest platform to grow on. I don't care what nobody wants to tell you. It is the hardest. 110 million. So that is 1/3 of America. The entire 1/3 of America
follows this guy.
Wow.
So he can literally drop something and print money.
Yeah.
He has more followers than people that voted for a president.
For the president.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so what I'm saying is he's connected the influence and knows how to convert it into money. A lot of us, a lot of artists, a lot of athletes, a lot of whoever, influencers in general, don't know how to put that piece together. It's a missing piece of the puzzle. And what happens is they get played just like the old school rappers did.
Gotcha. So go ahead.
I don't think it's that you already know what's up. I think they're wrecking their brain because they're chasing the tail, and they don't realize that they're the head now.
What you mean by that?
So the influencers are chasing the brands, right? Now the brands have realized that they actually have to go get the influencers now, and everybody's running in a circle, and only people like you and Mr. Beast have actually figured out what's going on. So now, once you realize that you don't need the brand, you just need a product or a service, you can print money.
And replace the brand, right?
Replace the brand.
The brands.
Which makes them be able to surpass McDonald's in a few or whatever.
And that's why I'm saying the brands that we know it today the simple service brands or the simple product brands can literally be destroyed overnight by one person.
Yes.
Wow. If you look at let's take another look. I know we talked about people were trying to correct me. Fenty.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, Fenty.
Right?
They knew what you was talking about when you said.
Guess what? The crazy thing is, LVMH owned Fenty and Fenty. Whatever the hell you want, Fendi.
Fenty.
Yeah, they own both of them.
So you were right either way.
Yeah, but listen, here's what I'm saying. So they said that Savage and Fenty lingerie was working with advisors on an IPO that could potentially be worth $3 billion. Rihanna owns 30% of that company. She also owns half of Fenty Beauty, which generates $550 million in revenue in 2020. So they're looking to take that company public, which she owns 30% of, and she owns 50% of the beauty brand that did $500 million in 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it's taken L'Oreal and all of these other companies to get to that revenue?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's bring that to the level of our viewers, listeners.
To the level of consciousness.
So, right. How so Rihanna is Rihanna. You know, GOAT. Who else did you mention? Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, he grinded his out and he grew his platform. So regular guy. So how do we translate that to, folks that are trying to be influencers now, or they have some traction already? How do they become the Mr. Beast, or do they have to become Mr. Beast to replace the brand?
No, you don't. I don't think you got to be Mr. Beast to replace the bands. But if that's your aspirations, the number one thing is you got to stop thinking small.
Right. So it can definitely be done. I think that's the point.
What happens is people don't understand the advertising dollars, right? There's a reason why Spotify gave Joe Rogan $100 million, because they're gonna sell $200 million in ads or more. There's a reason why Howard Stern, I think he generated $3 billion.
Yeah, he got like 500 million.
Yeah, he got 500 million, and they generated like $3 billion.
Yeah.
There's a reason why
your boy Lewis Howes
just sold.
He just sold. Yeah.
He just sold his. I mean, not sold, but he just signed a deal with Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
So my point is that you need to understand what the attention you have is worth. Yeah. And if you don't understand that, then you're going to give it away.
So how do people go about like getting the attention, building the attention?
Being themselves.
You got to have that's great.
You got to be yourself.
You got to be yourself.
Because the facade you put on got to last for a long time. You got to last for a long time in order to work. So
you got to fake forever.
If you faking forever, it's not.
And we know people can't fake forever.
It's going to be miserable. It's going to be miserable.
All right, so that's a good point. What else?
You got to be okay with people who may not like you. There's going to be more people that dislike you than like you. But the people that like you rock with you.
Right.
Period.
They're loyal.
They're loyal. They rock with you.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. You got to add some type of value and entertainment.
Always. Yeah.
So which is more important, the value part or the entertainment part? Or they
I think they're equally.
They're equal?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
I mean, I got this one little thing that I always say. I'm like, start where you are, what you got, make something happen. Yeah. I mean, you got people out there that got 1,000, subscribers or 1,000 followers, or
everybody started there,
or 200.
I'm talking about the person has no followers.
Yeah. I mean, 100 or 1,000 is not that they're not really that far off to actually get them. But the reason why I'm saying you got to start with that is because you actually have to believe that you have something, or you have leverage, or you can provide value to the 5 people or 2 people, or just being faithful over few, so that when you finally do grow to more and many, you can be, ruler, or you can stay and keep them.
Have you seen anyone grow? I don't know. What you call it, fan base, followers? What is it? I don't know. We'll say followers. Have you seen anyone grow their followers who have not been consistent?
Consistency is a big part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing I miss too. You gotta be be consistent. Yeah. And the grind sucks in the beginning. It just sucks.
Yeah. Right.
Because you put out this so good of a thing,
right.
and 5 people
dope.
see it.
This is fire.
But what happens is when you do hit that crest,
they're gonna go back and grab all that.
Because there's many times you and I, we've all found an artist.
Yeah.
And then you go back and listen to, like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, like one of the dopest artists to me right now is La Russell.
Yeah.
Out in Vallejo.
Yep.
Go look at the views on his video. It's not a whole lot, but he's like so dope to me.
And he don't need no label. Like,
right. He's independent.
So, he was doing parties he still does parties in
concerts in his backyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's pay what you can.
Right.
But it's crazy. I was watching something. Let me tell you something that's dope. I was watching one of his YouTube, it was Instagram or something. Yeah. He was doing an interview. He said, what happens is I don't set a price on the tickets. Yeah. What happened is you go in there, you submit how many tickets you want, and you tell us what you want to pay for them.
That's it.
We'll either accept them or not accept your bid.
Yeah. I bought his last album. Guess how much I paid for it?
How much?
$250. Because he said, listen, first of all, respect my grind. I respect his grind, totally. And he's like, just pay me what you think I'm worth. Pay me what you think. If this is dope to you, pay me what you think I'm worth. I paid $250 for his album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's dope. I mean, so now he's to a point where he says, you know what? Okay, that brand or that label or that company, I don't know if I want to compromise what I got to get what y'all gonna give me.
Right.
So with the built-in stuff I got, I actually think I can do more than what y'all gonna give me.
Yeah.
So he's a Mr. Beast, but with not 110 million, but with whatever he got.
Here's what happens. People will not want to. They'll be good. Here goes that thing. I think we talked about it this one point.
What's that?
They will focus on the artistry of whatever they're doing and not worry about the other stuff that matters. Like, it's easy to sit down here and record this podcast.
Yeah.
Could you set up the lights?
Yeah.
Could you string the microphones? Could you press record? Could you edit the video at the end? If you can't, you better find somebody in your camp that can.
Right.
Because if not, you're going to outsource yourself. You're going to outsource your entire equity. Mm-hmm. And so freely people give up their equity of whatever it is they own.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no way that a record label gives you $1 million if you ain't worth $3 million.
Right. Without question.
So if you're okay with that, why not?
So what I'm saying is the problem is we don't understand the leverage that we have.
Right.
And
that's
just our problem. So if we actually standardize our SOPs, our standard operating procedures, then we'll actually see what we're worth. Yeah. So with Jay and them, what they do, they sold all the stuff out the trunk first. And then they had leverage when he went in to get and do the distribution. So they all went and got 400 and 500 million because they showed them that we did $1 million out the trunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's literally the same thing now. So now what y'all was saying the other day was just match the brand with the actual artist, or so the label gets matched with the artist, or the brand gets matched with the influencer, and now everybody can see how how dope each other's leverage is, and you make a dope marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think the other thing is, I don't think too many people or too many major influencers accidentally become an influencer. I think it becomes their, like you say all the time, influencers are the new rappers. And the rapper says, I'm going to be a rapper. And they work on, they rap, they write, they do shows. They're working on becoming the rapper. I think the influencers that do really well, that's what they do. They say they are intentional about becoming an influencer, and they do the necessary to become the influencer, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. But also, I think the beginning of it is somewhat,
you don't know where it's going to go.
You have no idea, and you may not even have set out the intention that this is going to be my path.
Gotcha.
You may just, because now these days you can just pick up a phone and say or do something, and then boom, 3 million views.
Yeah, kind of like the rappers, though, right? Kind of like they can just do the same thing.
If you don't have content, then you have nowhere to take these 3 million people.
Right. Do you guys know who Mikey Williams is?
Yeah, basketball player.
High school basketball kid.
I heard about him. He's from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, from out here.
Well, no, he's from California,
but he go to school out here.
Okay. Well, not anymore. He moved back because he can play basketball now in California.
Yeah, during COVID.
Right. But this kid, 18 years old, just got a multi-million-dollar deal with Puma. The NIL just set these kids on whole new levels. But he started in the 8th grade recording everything. talking to his fans. You know, plus he's a phenomenal talent. So I don't.
You say 8th grade? That's like 3 years ago for him.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago. Yeah.
right. Well, 5 years ago.
Isn't that
like 13?
But isn't that like a long? That's like a long time when you talk about. But no, I mean, but it's actually a long time when you're thinking about somebody who is like
13 years old.
Yeah, 13 years old. To think like where this could go by the time I'm 18. So you have to have somebody like
100%.
You got to have somebody. You got to have a
That's a third of his life.
Right.
Yeah.
So I watched this interview with him, man, and he said, just was pretty astounding for an 18-year-old. First of all, he said, I want to be, or I will be, a billionaire by the time I'm 25. And he's on his way. But then the other thing was, he talked about his team. And, you know, they kind of asked him, you know, who has the blueprint, what you're trying to do? He said, LeBron. And then he talked about, he's like, the guys that are with me now are my guys. They've been with me. You know, he talked about his parents, of course, but his guys have been with him. And he talked about how LeBron has his team, and he just kind of ran through, you know, his friends. Well, so-and-so, he's responsible for this. So-and-so is responsible for this. But tremendous influencer, has his team, and 5 years ago, I don't know what his economic status was 5 years ago, but I know it wasn't the multi-million dollars that he's worth now. So
You think that the NIL is a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing, man. Oh my God. I don't know. I was a huge Fab Five fan, and they got nothing. And these guys were like, they went hungry at times.
Yeah.
And asking for $100 was like, that's a violation. They just wanted dinner.
Well, you know, they used to wear the black socks.
Yeah.
And they used to actually like pull the socks down and stuff like that. Like
they started a bunch of trends, the big baggy shorts.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they didn't even have enough money to actually have like low socks.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, so they made them low?
Yeah, they made them low,
gotcha.
like, you know, things like that. So like NIL stands for name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
And what we don't understand, not us, but us as a culture and as a people, is that our brands are built off of, you know, how we carry ourselves and how we serve and the products that we actually put out. So all of that boils down to actually content.
Yeah.
And we're not taking our content or our name, image, and likeness serious. So people are posting anything, right? So in 8th grade, he started pulling out his camera, and he wasn't just posting anything because he had an end game. He actually had something in mind to say, yo, if they pass this or when they pass this, we're going to have leverage to do this, that, and the third.
Right.
And of course, that took some forward thinking.
Luckily for him, they passed it. I'm sure he didn't even hear nothing about it 5 years ago.
Right.
Right, but he did, but he would have content.
Correct.
But he would have content.
Yeah, period.
So-
it would have
so
worked for him
capture-
regardless. Like he
Right.
would have went to big school like Duke, Carolina, played ball for a couple of years, went to the pros, would have picked up a deal the moment he said he was going pro.
Right. Now, but with that content, then what was the Kanye joint? The joint they just sold. They sold for that his manager quit his job. Dude quit his job, followed with a camera.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff, and then
$30 million.
$30 million,
Yeah, $30 million.
right?
Netflix,
It's
yeah.
content.
Yeah.
The dude had so you got hard drives worth of stuff.
Right.
And then how many years ago was that though?
Yeah.
So somebody gets 30 million 20 years later. So it would have worked for Mikey regardless.
No, 100%.
Because like you understand what I'm saying?
It just
So
speeded it up.
Capture. You never have to create again. Now we got hard drive. We just make the content, send it over to your people, and cut the content. Boom. We put it out. We flood the airway. We flood it.
But
we got leverage.
At what point does the next LeBron don't sign with Nike and creates his own shoe?
Yeah.
At what point do the band of the next generation of influence or basketball players say, "Nah, we're not signing with neither one of y'all"? We're gonna. Did you look at what And One did?
Yeah.
If you watch that And One documentary,
Yeah.
they said they went from a couple shoes to what was it, $65 million
$65
of shoe sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got Nike's attention.
So what we just said about Mr. Beast could actually happen in the NBA if you get a couple dudes that say we're gonna start our own joint, or it could start with a couple.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Getting a couple dudes.
Yeah, it's gonna take a couple. It's gonna take a
So
couple.
But it
think
goes
about it.
back.
Think about it, man.
Yeah.
How many millions of dollars have athletes and entertainers who are friends made and never came together to do anything? Like, and then you got
a ton.
But why?
A ton.
Why?
A ton.
Because they're athletes and not business people. So you got to be. I mean, y'all can get mad at me about that, but we've been business people for a while. Like, listen to what I'm saying. You think different. All right, you have to come into a lot of money. If you're not a business person, then you actually have to.
I think
get
that's
a bunch
changing.
Of money.
I think that's changing.
Yes, because there's blueprints out there.
Right
now,
there were blueprints
in order
before.
for.
No,
I mean, what's your man that got all the Wendy's or what's
Junior Bridgman.
Junior Bridgman. Yeah. How many Junior Bridgmans were there before there's Junior Bridgmans? So Junior Bridgman broke the mold.
2-3 Magic.
Right. Yeah. So you got Magic and Shaq kind of went the Junior Bridgman type route. Right. Don't nobody know Junior Bridgman, and they wasn't checking for him because he was more like a journeyman, 6-man type. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't like no big star.
Yeah, we need Junior Bridgman on this podcast. Pull up Junior Bridgman.
What about Curry signing a lifetime $1 billion deal?
That means you won't have you won't have
a break off, right?
Be a part. Yeah, he won't be a part of what the movement.
Because what I'm looking at,
dude, if I can stroke the check, like who was that? Was that Magic talking about Bus? Talking about rich and wealthy, and it was like Bus is wealthy. Yeah, I'm rich, but Bus is wealthy because he can write that check. That company can write $1 billion check. You know they're trying to get back what, $10 billion?
Well, I don't know what the structure is, but I'm sure the lifetime deal is worth $1 billion, right? So who knows when that $1 billion will come or whenever it does come. But he's solidified himself to get $1 billion for a lifetime deal.
That's dope. Yeah,
my thing is like I said, we can create a Nike overnight, right? Right. And so if you create a Nike overnight, all you got to do is take 2-3 year players coming in with the rookies getting these signing bonuses, and you literally pile together $10 million. You go into dev, you run the play. I mean, whatever, 10, 20 million. It's nothing for y'all to put the bag together. Yeah. And create that thing, and then the popping new shoes is next. Right. But we keep giving Nike
because those 3 or 4 or 5, whatever we need, they not going to be the next. So 50 had to do it with vitamin water. They had to take percentages of or stock instead of taking a check, and then like really believe in the end game. Like they had to believe bigger. Like you said, like we got to stop thinking so small.
But why didn't KD, Steph pick somebody else? Melo, Bron go do their own shoe. Why couldn't they go do their own shoe? I mean, remember Shaq had his own shoe. Yeah. Or Stephon Marbury had his own shoe. Big Baller, right. Big Baller brands. They tried to get
and everybody was laughing at Big Baller.
Yeah.
Which is wow.
But he got the concept. He understands the concept.
So why wouldn't those guys, Chris, throw Chris in there, why wouldn't they go, let's come together, let's go do our own Nike or our, what I'm saying, our own.
Because you got immediate gratification, right? Which comes in the form of millions and, tens and, it's up there, right? Right. And then you got, well, do I wait on this and see if I actually can make it blow? Will it go? Will it do it? You know what I'm saying? And then you got some people who actually believe
so that. You just described an entrepreneur. So you're saying that they aren't entrepreneurs. Because described.
Most of them are not. They're investors though. They're investors, but they're not entrepreneurs.
Gotcha. But their camps have entrepreneurs in their camps.
Yeah, I mean,
but then they got to convince the one that actually holding the bag. Yeah. Or who has the influence.
That's true.
And that's tough. You can't do that if it's hard if you're paying me. Right, then I come to you.
Can't afford you.
Yo,
I can't afford you. I already just too many zeros. Too many zeros.
Oh man, with this bullshit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know where the end was at, but I think just to stick a pin in it and call it a day on this side is that there's too many of us that don't know the power of the influence we have, and therefore we never actually own anything. We're just always chasing that active money.
Yeah. Another thing. Like for me, just being transparent, I had a problem with charging for my influence. I had a problem with that, right? And so that may be the case for a lot of people. But what I've learned is that when people have skin in the game, they pay attention.
Yeah. You don't pay attention unless you pay.
They pay attention, right? And then you see the results. But when people don't have skin in the game, then you typically don't see results.
Like I understand that there's people out there selling information that they don't have firsthand knowledge for, and it's whatever. I get that, whatever. Right. But those are the few and the loud, right? There is a lot of people out here that are legitimate business owners and teachers and coaches that will help you get to that thing, and
that have results,
and it's a stream of income for them. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But we don't like to invest in that manner. Like I said before, we're cool with spending the money on institutions, right? Institution to get education, but I don't know, man. I think it's a big problem. I think it has to be fixed. Like I don't know. I ain't even gonna bring that up, but I just think that I don't know when it's gonna get fixed. You have to charge for your knowledge, your skills, or your service.
Oh yeah, I'm there now. But again, just being transparent, that was an issue for me. And like, if that is a major problem, people.
Why? But why? But what?
It was almost like, and I'll tell you, I used to, when I was a financial advisor, when I was a wealth manager, I had a client who was a neurosurgeon. He told me this story about this lady came in, right? And the lady could not afford the procedure that she needed done. And she didn't have the insurance. And so she hit him with, wait, you have the power to fix me, to eliminate this pain in one 15-minute surgery. And you're telling me because I don't have, and I'll make up a number, $80,000, you're not going to do it. And, he was like, well, this is a business too. And he said, and actually with him, he said, he ultimately said, he did the surgery. And he told her, I never said that. But that was, her position. So I've always felt like it's easy for me to say, listen, don't do that, do this. And that's gonna make a $100,000 shift in what you're doing, or in some cases it's been $300,000-$400,000 shift. It was just easy and natural, and it was like I'm helping. And it was almost not charitable, but it was like, man, I helped and I feel good about helping. But again, what I've learned is unless people pay, they don't have skin in the game, and then they don't do anything. I don't know how many times on the flip side, I've spoken somewhere or I've taught somewhere, and I saw people later on, I said, hey, what'd you do? Nothing. Oh, yeah, well, we talked about you doing this and it was gonna give you this immediate change. What have you done? Nah, I just hadn't gotten around to that. But I guarantee you, if they pay me $3, $5, $10 a month, for the advice and the experience, then they will do something. Because if they don't, then that's asinine.
They're gonna stop paying you.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your business, you gotta figure out. You gotta figure out how to.
I guess that's the other thing too. It was never my business, right? It was never my business. But
yeah,
I mean,
still, once you flip that switch, then it's up to you if you're gonna do it or not. But it wasn't really your thing.
Right.
So now it's like, all right, you're gonna take my time.
Right.
And you're gonna exchange this currency for. So they're exchanging currency of money. You're exchanging the currency of energy. And if your energy is currency, so you either invest it wisely or you spend it frivolously. Either way. So it's up to you to put a price on that if you want to. Like even Max, he tells me, Max gives away a lot of game. Right. He gives away a lot of game because he might make money another place.
Right.
But somebody else might say, you can't give away that much information. Right. But it works for him.
Right.
Don't it work? It works, right, Mac?
No question.
Right. So people have to figure out the currency, energy. When you said they didn't pay attention, then they didn't want to buy the experience. I'm gonna break that down again.
Right.
When you pay attention, it's the only currency you actually have to exchange to buy the experience. So sometimes you can pay attention, get it for free, right, and own the experience. Or you can act like you don't understand the exchange of this currency, which is just me being like consciously active and engaged in what you're saying so I can retain a little bit and walk away with something, or I can, you know what I mean? Just what I told them kids earlier, I said, or you might have to go out there later and write a check that your ass can't cash.
Right. And
when you got to pay that kind of currency for it, then you better retain it.
Or missed opportunities.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunities. So that's why people should be paying attention to the Endgame podcast. And that's why we should have like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million subscribers right now, because they need to be paying attention. Yo, real quick, I want to switch gears and talk about, in my opinion, one of the dopest CEOs on the planet right now.
Who would that be?
Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders. So Deion came in, right? Jackson State. Does everybody know about Jackson State football? Know what's going on with Deion? Took a subpar business, right? In an industry of what, college football, and then focused on this sub industry of the SWAC, and has turned it completely
not only
around.
That, he said, "Watch me."
He said, "Watch me." So I just want to talk about like his steps. He did stuff like, first of all, he came and he changed the message, and he changed the whole mantra of what Jackson State football was going to be compared to what it was. Who was the previous coach before Deion Sanders?
Your point is we probably don't know.
I have no idea.
I got you.
I have no idea.
Going with it,
right? So
y'all ain't never watched a Jackson State football game anyways.
Ever. I've never went and watched highlights of a Jackson State football game.
You never seen highlights.
I've never seen a highlight. Right. So
what's the name of the Jackson State? We got somebody.
Yeah, the wide receivers like
Jerry Rice or somebody, right?
Nah, I think somebody younger. Like Terrell Owens or
somebody super big.
T.O., one of them.
Google that for me real quick, y'all. Jackson State.
I think
somebody like real big.
Yeah, I think it was T.O. or
Walter Payton. Come on, one of y'all.
I think it was like
guys. Google that shit for me real quick. Jackson State. Is it Walter
I think it was
Payton?
like two. I think it was like two
Walter
of
Payton.
I
think Randy Moss go there?
Nah, Randy Moss didn't go there. He went to Marshall. He went to Marshall. But he changed the narrative and told them what they were going to be, right? He set the intention for the organization. It's what CEOs should be doing if you're not doing that, setting the intention for the organization. Then he started, when in the process of setting the intention for the organization, he started saying stuff that made no sense for that FCS school.
Explain.
They were in the Power 5. He said, we're going to go recruit the top players in the country.
He got one, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got
Travis Hunter. He got Travis Hunter, the best player in the country, who committed to Florida State and then decommitted and then, went to Jackson State.
And guess what Deion Sanders' alma mater is?
Florida State. Absolutely.
And guess who had a job opening and didn't hire them?
Florida State. Absolutely. Mistake.
So he went after.
Well, I'm gonna make y'all laugh even more. All he did was Mr. Beast.
Correct.
That's all he did. It's the same concept.
Right.
He has the influence, right? He already has the track record. So everything he's saying. I think
that's important. Because he got Travis Hunter, the best player in the country, plays corner.
Yeah.
Arguably the number one corner ever to play football, Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And said, son, come here. I'm going to show you how to get to the next level.
Yeah, without question.
From Jackson
So
State versus Florida State.
Without question, but it don't even matter what position he plays, he played. So So when I go out there and I talk to these people, I go meet them where they at.
Gotcha.
It makes me far more relatable. People open up to me, they listen to me, they pay attention, all because of where I'm meeting them at.
Right.
Now, when I come in there with the bow tie, I ain't never been locked up. I got this degree. I lived on this side of the tracks my whole life. They don't care nothing that I'm talking about. So as opposed to any other coach in the country, right? You got Deion Sanders, who's already did what you dreaming of doing.
Right.
To the highest level, right? Come on, you going, what's on his shirt? I believe. Soon as he give it one word or talk, and he got a better chance of landing that kid and signing that kid than any other coach.
What do you think Deion's end game is? Because it's not money. He makes $300,000 a year. That's his base salary compared to like a Nick Saban who, multi-million-dollar.
It's like $18 million a year.
Right. Makes $300,000. He has a whole bunch of incentives built in.
I know his name and likeness contracts are up there though.
Who?
Deion. It's got to be.
What?
His
NIL?
His endorsement deal's got to be crazy.
Right.
Yeah, he's with Barstools or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a company that just bought that. That's what you had sent us something the other day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like Deion. Somebody, a business school should lock in and study what Deion's done with Jackson State.
Deion should just come on here and tell us.
Oh, hey, that sounds good too.
Yeah.
But I just think it's been phenomenal for him to. The other thing is an HBCU, which
But think about how tough of a sale that is, right? I know what you're saying when you said, that's Deion Sanders, coach. Have you ever went into a FSU locker room and weight room and coach?
Oh,
nah, but you seen his? He
now,
brought up Sanders.
Now.
Because he used his influence.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying that's still a tough sell for him.
Oh yeah.
He's got to.
Yeah,
you got
the stadium, the
Yeah.
TV contracts, all that stuff.
And so he did, like you said, he did a phenomenal job. I mean,
But to me, it's more than just being a football coach. I'm telling you, this guy's a CEO, and he is running a business. I'm questioning like what's the end game, because typically coaches, they have salary. He can't sell FSU, Jackson State University, the football program. A lot of people are saying, hey, if he gets an offer to a big school, he's out of there.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's going. He's still got work to do.
Yeah.
And then he's creating a mold where the rest of the HBCUs now will believe bigger. Right. They will, they will actually try to emulate the success.
So what if his end game is legacy?
Absolutely.
Speak on that some more.
Like, what if his end game? What if Deion's straight? And we know Deion made a good amount of money, right?
Yeah.
And like, what if Deion's straight and his objective is not the money? Like, because I'm sure any endorsement deal Deion wants, he can go get it. Right. So I don't think that's the issue. What if Deion is the person known to forever change HBCU football and put it on the level with all these other contenders and bring down the beast?
Yeah. I think he's going to do that because that's what he did. That is him. Like, so he's trying to do that. Like that is, I believe that's in his mind. He's got some stuff to do.
Just like we dealt with that hater situation as it related to you, there are haters inside of this ecosystem, inside of the SWAC specifically, that's hating on Deion. And he's just making everything better, even for you. Mm-hmm. So now you can go recruit.
Because people even know what the SWAC is now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I guess that's and I'm always tripping like, but if y'all just pay attention and if y'all just rock with us, we're gonna get you to where you want to be. But there's always going to be, apparently,
because it's change.
The hater.
It's change, and people fear change.
Yeah, right.
And the people fear what they don't understand.
Yeah.
But they can they can plug in. They can just plug in and go be a part of that change.
It sounds logical, but it's change.
Well, I don't think it's a lot of the coaches that are hating because him and Hugh Jackson rock together. Him and Eddie George rock together.
But those are people of the same cloth. They cut from the same cloth. Those are all. You know what I mean? You know who those. Everybody knows who those three names are you just mentioned. Yeah. But it's some guys that are not that, right? Yeah. And so I can see where the change might scare some people up out of a job. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe the spotlight's too much to realize I shouldn't even be here. Mm. And somebody else.
But he always pays homage to the coaches that are there.
Yeah, but that don't mean
talk about how well they can coach.
Because not only are you bringing in new players and having more attention, now more qualified coaches are going to want to come coach at the SWAC.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe some of these other coaches are going to get up out of there.
Well, just HBCUs, period. Like they're going to take those opportunities serious. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's dope for the whole entire.
But here comes another misunderstanding of our influence. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Kids want to go to what the big I don't even know. I don't watch football like that. They want to go to the Power Fives. Yeah. And it's hard to turn it down, from the college experience to the weight rooms to the money they throwing at the side. Now the playing field's even. Right? At least everybody can openly make money now. Right. But what if all these athletes started going to these schools where they came from, like these HBCUs, and now because it all boils down to the TV contracts.
Well, they got a better opportunity now. So say the kid gets an NIL deal out of high school with Adidas, but they want to go sign with a Power 5 school that got Nike. Now his Adidas thing is going to be tough for him to do there. But he go to HBCU, it might leave the door wide open for him. Yeah. So the game can be changed. And then, see, you get a coach like Deion, he actually start talking to kids about culture. He actually started talking to kids about that actual black experience, right? And you starting to realize that, man, these 4 years could actually, change the way, I create a family, like moving forward. And it goes from influence to impact. See, a lot of these kids, they're chasing influence and they not really understand the impact that they actually have in the end.
Right.
And when we make that shift, that's when you get somebody like LeBron that makes these different business decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I get these kids, I be talking to them, right? And I start to explain to them how you might like who you like, but you need to study GOATs. So they like Curry, but they need to study LeBron. Because you understand what I'm saying? Because the moves and stuff that he making, like, we ain't talking about 3-pointers at the end of the day. We ain't talking about points, even though he got all these. He did all that.
And you're not talking about one contract that made you Billy. LeBron had to grind that joint out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that he had to do to get where he is. Period.
Yeah, but somebody also, has a certain amount of control over you with that thing for the lifetime.
Yeah.
For the lifetime. Now, when you don't give up that, when you like us, come on, how much of our life we gonna give up to somebody else to control like this, that, and third? Come on, them 2 years you was miserable as
Oh my God.
right? Come on, we had some talks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked me off the ledge a few times.
Word.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, Rod, it's 2 years, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I did a year in the box. I'd be talking.
And they paying you. Shut up.
Right.
Yeah. I'd be talking.
That was the first conversation. Isn't this what you wanted?
Yep.
That was the first convo. Isn't this what you
I'm
wanted?
like, yo, you here, dog?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is
Oh my God,
you
it was
there.
miserable. It was
I'm like, yo,
miserable.
chill, man.
It was miserable.
But it's dope though, like, you know what I mean? So all I'm saying is we ain't doing nothing for a lifetime when another cat got control over it, right? But that's the entrepreneur or business person in us and us understanding, you know what I mean, the end game. Yeah.
We talked about, so we had to go do this thing at high school today to talk to these kids. And I told Lynch, I've been around him quite a bit and I've heard him speak a whole lot. And it reminds me of a buddy of mine. He asked me to send him some books that I read. And so I sent him a whole bunch of books. And he said, dude, all these books are the same. I'm like, the personal development stuff. Like, all of them are the same. I said, no, they're not the same. I said, the topics may be similar, but all you need is a paragraph out of one of them that's different from the first three you read, right? And so I've heard Lynch speak a whole bunch. And today, one of the things that he said to the kids, because one kid was being a little unruly, wasn't paying attention or whatever, not listening. And he went into this whole thing and he touched the kid. He was like, this guy's about to miss out on an opportunity. And then he goes into this thing about paying attention and what it cost you to pay attention. And then that led me to think when I was coming over to record the podcast, it's like, what else have, what other prices have I paid to, to land where I am right now? And I just kind of went through, a chronological order of the prices that I paid. And some have been very, very heavy and some, not so heavy, but were necessary. So I wanted to ask you guys, what are some of the prices that you feel like you've had to pay to get to where you are now? And then more importantly, what are some of the prices you think you're going to have to pay to get to where you want to go, even with what we're doing here with the Endgame podcast?
I think for me, I've paid prices in relationships.
Yeah.
I'm 37. I ain't got no kids. I just got married like 8 months ago.
Right.
So
at least you know how long it's been. I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah. So those, like, for me, those are the sacrifices and the things I've had to pay for. There's a lot of relationships, actually, and not just like ones with like the opposite sex or like a partner or something that, like friendships.
Right.
Lost some good friendships over the situations. I missed out on dates and times that I can never get back. But, God has afforded me the opportunity to be able to create new ones and potentially even better than the ones that I missed.
Gotcha.
And then like the, you develop this mental callus that most people don't have. which is good and bad.
Right.
It's good because you can move through a storm like most people can't, but it's bad because you move through life like most people can't.
Yeah, right. I love that.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I
yeah. And so you miss some of the natural human emotion to things that people react to that you just slides off you like you got a coating on your windshield.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Your level of consciousness is so much greater that certain things, you're not even moved by those things.
What's crazy is
they don't.
You saying that, like my wife literally said something to me today. She was like, yo, I had learned something about you when your dad died. She was like, I ain't even see you like show no emotion, and you did the eulogy and all that different type of stuff. She was just like, it was just like, I learned something totally different about you to watch that and see that and everything. It was just like you had no emotion. So that callous that you talking about, like, is crazy. If you can build up them type of calluses sometimes, then man, the little stuff that go on, it can't bother you like that, man.
Yeah. But at the same time, it may be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works in our favor. Sometimes in the long run, which I don't know, I haven't seen the cause and the effect of it, but sometimes it could be a bad thing.
Yeah, some people, they got this whole thing where they're going to paint a picture that you haven't grieved and you're traumatized and all this other. You hear how I'm saying it, right?
So that's the
you hear how I'm saying it.
Right.
Yeah. Man, shut up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I know what you're saying. You saying like 20 years from now, man, I might crack up and break down because I didn't cry when my pop died or something.
I don't know.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
He was my best friend, right? And when you get to the level of consciousness, right? I always say this: you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking you had when the problem was first created, right? So you got some people that is like, I don't want to traumatize nobody, man. Forget about all that stuff. But anyway, man, But
what you're talking about, though, mostly what you're talking about right now is what other people think and feel.
But I don't even want to talk about it. I'm gonna keep it on me. I'm gonna keep it on me.
Gotcha.
That way, nobody don't hate me because everybody grieve different. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is that I understand there ain't no distance between spirits.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right?
Right.
So my father's not here in the physical form no more. What I got to cry for? Because ain't no distance between the spirit. Every now and then when I'm conscious, I actually see him. I actually hear him. I actually know that was him that guided that thing right there. Yeah. Like I watched this movie. It was about a dude that played football, and I think they accused him of rape or something like that. And he went to jail, and then somebody in the joint actually gave him the same book that my pop gave me in the joint. I was like, yo, all right, that was my pop just right there. He just told me what's up. You know what I mean? He just I'm in the building. Like, you know what I mean? Here to guide you today, right? You know what I mean? Just little stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That could be me on some superstitious stuff too or something like that. But it don't even matter, man. I don't be beat for a lot of stuff. Like when we be talking at the end, I'll be like, yo, how y'all doing? Like, you know what I mean? Right. And I got a joint.
Right.
No. Circumstances don't make a man, they reveal them.
They reveal them, absolutely.
Right. So if I put too much of my identity on
whatever
the thing that I lost, or too much on my J's, or too much on this, when I lose that, or if I don't have that, then I'm gonna feel like I ain't me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, I ain't trip about that. Yo, how you doing? You like, yeah, all cylinders. Like,
what are some of the things that you paid?
Oh man, some of the prices that I paid, relationships for sure. I mean, when we locked in, and it was like, this is it, come hell or high water, and I need you to be on board. I need everybody to be on board. And like, it was just, like you said, it was, relationships with significant others, but also relationships with friends. A buddy of mine, we had a situation, during the journey that, man, we were thick as thieves back in high school, and we don't even speak today just because of some stuff that happened about some money. So,
but what happens is, and I'm speak to you. Hopefully, it's the same thing, or maybe it's the same thing. What happens is, through this journey and the disciplines and the principles that you learn, it is tough for you to enforce those principles, but you know it's the right thing. Yeah. So you enforce those principles and you won't break off of them, even though you know you may lose that person.
Yeah.
Because you know how it's going to end the other way if you don't enforce that principle. You learn that through the books and through the journey of whatever you have.
Right.
And you're like, yo, I can't.
Right.
Like I will not.
I will not,
because I understand. Yeah. I love you, but I can't. You know what I mean?
So that's a part of it, and then the other part is just going the other way, the opposite way. So instead of turning left, turning right is like, it makes absolutely no sense to me based on what I'm trying to accomplish to go right. None, you know, so that's the other part of it. And the thing now, I guess, is repairing relationships that makes sense to repair, that fit. But then also another price is if you name the financial hardship, I experienced it. You name it, I experienced it.
You went through bankruptcy.
I went through bankruptcy. Yeah, bankruptcy. Lost a house. House went through foreclosure. Just other financial stuff, other financial challenges. So it was a hefty price to pay, but and it's ironic, both of you said it developed these calluses, man, that like my level of consciousness and ability to deal with tough things now is just magnitude, you know, and it's high. And
some people look at you go through something and they be like, that dude ain't human.
No
emotion.
No, what's crazy is they look at you, they don't believe you go through things. Yeah, that's what happened, and to me that's worse, right? Because if you got people that's true, that care about you or you care about them, and they look at you like, well, you good. You ain't been through nothing. Yeah, you landed fine. You
got money, don't you?
You got right, exactly. Exactly. So that's that. You know, those are some of the prices.
You got money, don't you?
Don't you got money? Matter of fact, you need to give me money.
They're gonna do that. They're gonna ask for that before they even check on you. Yeah, that's what they call them.
That's never happened to you, right? That's never happened to you.
Nah. They don't ask me for nothing. They ask me for nothing. They about to get cussed out.
So yeah, some hefty prices to pay, and I think people need to understand that you need to check on the people that you think are solid. Yeah, you need to check on, like, you know, you need to reach out to Max if you care about him, if you love him, and say, yo, how's it going? Not, you know, what can you do for me? What can you?
I got people that do that to me.
That's good. That's good. You got people that do that to you?
Yeah, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah. And that happens to me from time to time. From time to time. What else, man? What else on you? What else on your brain?
Oh man, shoot.
So one of the other things, so I know we're going in the right direction because you're talking about your inbox, you know, blowing up.
Crazy.
We had to, you know, I sent you guys a thing. I got people saying, yo, let's go start a private equity fund. Let's go do that.
I saw that.
So I'm like, I'm blown away.
I think it's important that the people now are starting to understand the game. It's now being revealed. You know, it's very similar to like in 2016 and 17 when I started putting videos online about wholesaling. And people heard about it in different ways. People were talking about it in different ways, or you seen it happen and you kind of knew what it was. But then I put the whole game online, and people were like, "So this is how
you pull back the covers.
This is how they was getting rich this whole time."
You pull back the covers.
So I think revealing private equity and the game that's being played, we might get shot. We might get shot at because I'm not saying like physical, like, you know what I'm saying, like, but I'm saying revealing this game and how it's played. Is some big.
We might have to do another episode.
There's not. We have to. We will.
I left so much stuff out.
We have to.
I left so much stuff out.
We have to. We have to. We'll do an episode.
Why didn't I say that?
Just on private equity.
Yeah.
We'll do one episode just on private equity.
Yeah. And really, I mean, I think it's about exposing any sandboxes that people that look like us don't normally play in.
Yeah. Because it's important. I mean, even the one person that reached out to you was like, yo. For a year, they've been trying to buy my business, and I had no idea why.
Right.
And now I have to listen into your podcast. Right. I don't want to sell it because I understand that we can do X.
Let's go build our own.
Let's go build a play now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So did you respond to the person yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got something set up.
You see what I'm saying?
For next week. Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation next week.
And it's dope. Here's a crazy thing, man. The impact that we're making with some people of power.
Yeah.
Like. I'm not going to reveal who I've been talking to.
Right.
But it's some very influential people that reached out to me.
Yeah.
That's like, yo, We need you fellas just to spit some game to our peoples.
Right.
Because the level of consciousness that they having is I mean, I'm talking people that's like,
yeah. You know, I was in the dark about some of the people.
50 million followers.
I asked my daughter, I was like, do you know who such and such? And
Yeah, she's like, of course.
she was like, yeah.
She's like, who don't?
Right. She was like, but you've heard, you know, some of the stuff that they put out,
right?
But you just don't know who it is. I'm
right.
like, oh, word, okay.
So I think that's dope. And I think the people, and it's crazy because that's the pathway given to you. Like you are going to speak the responsibility and the life and the into people of power. They already have it's built in, but they don't understand it. Athletes, entertainers, like you're giving them the realist.
Reveal the power.
Yeah, we're revealing the power.
To
We're teaching them about business and their worth and like so the things that we're talking to people about here on this
I'm getting
joint.
squirmy in this chair just thinking about it.
Like
man.
we're talking
let's go.
Like we're talking to people who like are huge and they have it in their hand, but now they're gonna. I just feel like the talks we're gonna have are really gonna change the trajectory of for a lot of people in powerful positions.
You know the other
a lot
thing
of industries too.
that's surprising to me, and I know how much impact we're gonna have. I'm surprised at what people don't know, and the people who don't know what they don't know.
Bro,
that surprises me.
Let me tell you, just because you made $50 million this year, don't mean you know. And I'm talking that's real numbers. I'm talking about people that are reaching out.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So I always be like, you the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. So the leadership doesn't have the information.
Right.
So the reason why now all these people are in the inbox is because
and it's crazy now. Some of the leaders are reaching out to us and say, "Yo,
absolutely, come lead."
Come talk to our people.
Now you're influencing the influencers, but it's because the information and the overall impact that can be generated through, the information that you're actually giving away. And once again, giving away.
And I love it because people are coming to us and, we're not, advertising or people are coming to us because they see, that we're genuine and that we desperately want to help.
They see the difference.
They
see the difference. Oh yeah, that's true.
They
know it's real.
Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm super excited. Trucking business was good past 2 weeks. No maintenance. Still learning a lot. About to go to another level, about to add another layer, even though I said I wasn't going to do it until certain things happen, but we're about to do it.
Push through, bro. And the crazy thing, now we know why you're in the trucking business because, again, multiples that don't make no...
I gave you low end, too. I said 10.
I know. Yeah, but that's insane, though.
Yeah, it's insane. So we got to run hard. Me and the team got to run hard. So even if my margins aren't where they are, because right now gas prices are ridiculous. Gas prices are ridiculous because our government pumped a whole bunch of money into the economy during the pandemic, and inflation is out of control, and interest rates being increased will not help the problem. I said it. I believe it. You got to get some of this money supply out of the economy, buy back more and more of those bonds, and quit printing money, sending money over to the Ukraine. That's what I wanted. Do we have time? Like, we sent billions to the Ukraine, right? Which, I mean, we should send billions to the Ukraine, right? To help them if we're an ally. But what about where's the place that didn't have the water?
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Why not send $1 billion to Mississippi?
Why not send a few billion to Puerto Rico, who is a part of the United States?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure they're going to give you an answer. Well, we have a bunch of money in this war fund that we can spend everywhere, and so we can.
Man, they shift money all the time. They move money around all the time.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
They print money. They pay people to stay home. They pay people more money to not work, to file unemployment, than they did for them to go work. Am I making this up?
What was crazy about that is like, now that this is over, I'm done. And I don't want to talk to us anymore.
Pandemic is over?
No, well, now that this whole thing's the checks are done.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Now that the checks are done,
yeah.
and the standard that they put out there for the monthly amount of money they were giving people, does unemployment checks now go up? Because they now figured out that, you actually needed this to live on, and not what we're spending you over here. I'm gonna leave that alone.
I don't understand the money policy.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
I don't understand the money policy, but
my solution now is just make more money.
Go make more money. Absolutely. How's everybody doing? Good. Where are you on the scale of 1 to 10? I know where you are.
Yeah, probably like a 12.
Yeah, I knew that. No matter
I get
what.
that number?
He came in here limping, torn ACL. He's a 12. No, that's good.
The workout was crazy. I'm just telling, workout was crazy.
I know. I missed it.
I'm limping a little bit, but I feel great.
After round 5, and I know this was like Lynch's probably second or third workout of the day.
Yeah.
My man said, and everybody was like, "We got one more round."
Oh yeah, so I was lost. Like,
Yeah,
you thought we
was done. I'm the coach. I'm the leader.
Yeah,
I already told everybody we got 6 rounds. Yo, I spent an extra 5 minutes in the beginning, emphatically stating that we had another round.
Yep.
And after the 5th round,
My man,
I sat down.
He went to go sat down. And everybody was like,
Because
"Yo."
so the last exercise, I did 80 double unders in 40 seconds. Right? So I did these 80 double. Wow. And I thought I was about to just leave it all right there. And they was like, nah, coach, we got another round.
Got one more round.
Oh, let's push. And the camera was rolling. I'm like, oh, man. And I had one of the homies with me that this is my first time working out with him. So, it wasn't about to, conk out. It wasn't going to happen.
Wow. Good week. You were on vacay, man. Good
Yeah,
week.
our wife's birthday was the weekend. We went to a nice resort in Mexico. It was pretty cool. Drake posted my wife
I saw that.
That's big.
I saw that.
That was huge.
of her asking
saw
for
that.
a $22 million mansion.
Right.
Drake, I don't know what kind of pressure you putting me under,
that's
but your homie ain't got it. Yeah, because I buy my joints cash and I ain't got that.
Next week.
I ain't got that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
I don't got the 22 million cash.
Give us 6 months.
deals.
Give us 6
Yeah,
months.
a
Give us
couple
6
private
months.
equity deals.
Give us 6 months.
But yeah, that was random.
Yeah,
like we literally
that
woke
was
up
dope.
one day and she was like, "Oh my God." And I thought I was brushing my teeth and I thought that her sister had given birth because she's pregnant. She was like, "No, Drake just posted my video." And I'm like, "Drake? Drake posted the video?
Soldier Boy.
Let me see what he's saying about my wife." No,
Boy.
But it was real cool. It was I don't know, it was random. I know, crazy.
Gotcha.
People were like, somebody said I paid for that.
Yeah,
I couldn't even imagine what a Drake post would
somebody
cost.
said in the comments.
I couldn't even imagine what that would.
It's gotta be
and
$1
if
million.
Why
Yeah.
couldn't it just happen organically? Why?
And if I was to pay Drake for a post, it wouldn't be that one.
Definitely.
But that was pretty dope, man. But we had a good vacation. We back grinding, came back and did the workout this morning. First day back, and woo! I'm hurt right now.
Smoke. Good money though. Good money.
What about you, man?
Money. Good week, man. Good couple weeks.
Let me
I said no maintenance, man.
Let me tell you how
if I have a
committed.
maintenance-free freaking week, that's a great week in trucking.
You creating those. That is great though. But let me tell you, your birthday is what, this weekend coming
My
up?
wife's birthday is Sunday.
Your wife's birthday is Sunday.
Yeah.
So y'all were on vacation.
Yeah.
At the favorite point spot y'all like to go to.
Right.
You came home this morning.
Right.
So that you could record the podcast, and you're gonna leave back out tomorrow so you can
We're
finish.
going to Mexico in the morning.
You go to Mexico in the morning so you can finish.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Dedicated.
My name is a pit
Podcast-
stop
listen.
so you can record the podcast.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
I know where we're going. And man, we got to, like you said,
Commitment.
out the gate. You said
Sacrifice.
we got to be committed. We got to be
25.
committed, and we got to do 25 out the gate. So I wasn't going to interrupt that. I am not interrupting that flow. So let's go. I know where we're headed, man.
You just put it at a whole nother level with the wives though.
I know where we're headed. And the thing about it, she was okay. Yeah. So
Enjoy Mexico, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
Enjoy
I
it.
hit Max.
Enjoy
I hit Max earlier. Like, yo, did you feel safe? Because I'm reading all this. I gotta stop reading stuff.
Yeah.
I'm reading all this stuff about the cartel and da da da. I said, "Were you safe?" He said, "Man, I was on the resort, chilling. Resort was dope. Didn't have to leave the resort. And we were good." So that eased my angst just a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even feel no type of nothing, bro.
Right. You didn't see no armed
Nothing.
militia walking the beaches.
Nothing. A bus caught on fire when we was leaving, but that was about
That was
it.
it. Gotcha. Yeah, so we're excited about that. But man, tell them what they need to do, man. Tell them how they need to pay attention.
Listen, you do need to pay attention. But look, we appreciate you guys watching and listening to the Endgame podcast. If you're listening on your favorite podcast place, do us a favor. Go leave a 5-star review and just actually write something. Write something that you like about this podcast. Or, hey, tell us. It don't matter. And then if you're watching on podcasts, if you're watching on YouTube, go out there and smash that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this video or this podcast with a friend that you know is going to like it. And we're gonna keep dropping the bombs, man. I think we're having a guest in a few couple weeks.
Yes.
So
dope.
our first guest. Maybe instead of 3 chairs, it's gonna be 4.
4 chairs.
Yeah.
That's dope. So anyways, man, appreciate you watching the Endgame podcast. My name is Max Maxwell.
Hey, I'm Rod Brown.
And I'm Lynch.
And we out.
Peace.